Hello, salam, peace, shalom. Welcome to the Education for Welcoming Families with Children with Autism to a Worship Community. This presentation is designed for you, respected faith leaders, and your teams to be able to help create a more welcoming and inclusive space for your families with children with varying abilities. To begin, we're going to start off with an interactive activity. If you could please first sit back, close your eyes, and as I read through our activity, consider how you would feel. Imagine you are 5 years old again, and you walk into a room full of people. The room is so loud, and all you can hear is the conversations between everyone talking in your ear all at once. You cover your ears to fade out the sounds as you start to feel overwhelmed. Someone in the room turns on some colored lights, and you become distracted by them. And then someone turns on music, and the noise becomes worse. Your stomach starts to growl because you are hungry, and you now realize you don't want to be in this bright, noisy room anymore. You are nonverbal, you have no communication skills, and so to escape this room, you elope and run. As we end, again, think about how you would feel. In addition, what would you do? We appreciate you taking the time to participate in this exercise, as it is to help set the stage for our conversation today and to put yourself in perspective with what a child with autism might feel like and experience. It is important to keep in mind why we are creating this presentation. As a religious leader, your perspective and influence matters. For parents and families who have a child or someone in their family with autism, their voices aren't often heard, and they face challenges many may not understand. Families use their faith as a spiritual home, and if they feel isolated in their place of worship, then they may feel like there is no place they can go. With utilizing your influence, you can encourage awareness, knowledge, and support of autism, especially if there are members in your own communities. Another question that you might be curious about is what exactly is autism spectrum disorder? Autism spectrum disorder, commonly abbreviated as ASD for short, is a neurodevelopmental disorder that is diagnosed in early childhood. 1 in 54 individuals in the United States are diagnosed with autism. Individuals with autism often have deficits in communication, social, and emotional skills. When addressing individuals with autism, it is best to use first-person language instead of labeling child with autism rather than autistic child. ASD also affects people of all genders, nationalities, and ethnicities. While there is no cure for autism, there is treatment, such as what we do with early autism services. It's an early intervention program where we use applied behavior analysis, also known as ABA, in which we will discuss in a few minutes. In your place of worship, you may currently have members with autism, or there is a possibility that you may gain families with a child or children with autism as members in the future, since the ASD community continues to grow. You may wonder how your place of worship can better accommodate these needs. One way to consider this is imagine you're the parent of these children. What needs would you like to see met for your child? One way to consider this is considering a sensory-friendly environment. What might a sensory-friendly environment look like? This can be a separate space or room designated for members with autism. The space can include reduced noise, light music, and neutral lights. It can also include sensory toys such as squishy balls, slime, fidget toys, and more. Bean bags or small chairs, something comfortable to sit in, could also be considered. Having a water fountain or water machine can help. Most places of worship already contain rooms that are child-friendly or rooms to accommodate general needs of their members in case they need a break or a safe spot to go to. There are also places that are actively working on this in their place of worship. Just know we are here to help for sensory-friendly ideas and suggestions, given for a sensory-friendly environment. Don't hesitate to ask us for suggestions. We are your ally. We are the experts and have lots of creativity to assist with. In addition to these family accommodations that can be made, some further accommodations may include, but again, are not limited to, sermons that are centered around autism and children with varying abilities, support groups for families and parents, a separate time of service for the children to attend at a quieter time with less people and distractions, asking for community volunteers with experience to assist the children, and service teachers when children are required to do group activities or prayers. Hosting a community event to spread awareness. Again, we are your allies. We can help with providing assistance for children, those one-on-one activities. ABA is performed in the home, in the clinics, and in the community. A place of worship would be considered in the community. We may also help with being available at a community event to spread awareness. We may bring brochures to talk to your families who may have questions about the next steps. As I touched on earlier in our presentation, there is no known cure for ASD, but there are treatment options which include early intervention and applied behavior analysis therapy, also referred to as ABA. Early intervention for children with autism is important, being that it is key to progress since children are continuing to develop at a young age. Early intervention is essentially early support for children who may have developmental delays, disabilities, or are at risk for complications. Applied behavior analysis, or ABA therapy, is a form of therapy that uses scientific principles of learning and motivation to teach appropriate and effective behaviors and skills in the homes, clinics, schools, and in community settings. ABA therapy is what Early Autism Services does. It is effective from data that is collected on behaviors and progress. It is also individualized to the individual receiving treatment. To give an example of what ABA may look like, working in the home, sessions could include working on gross motor imitation skills at the table, working on verbal imitation, and also working on following one-step instructions like stop and go. An individual with autism may receive anywhere between 10 to 40 hours of ABA therapy weekly, which can be done in the home setting, school, and community, like we talked about. Practitioners working with individuals with autism use varying assessments to determine what skills the learner currently has and what skills they need to be worked on. For example, one child may know how to toilet on their own, while another child might require more assistance. Therefore, each treatment program is tailored to that individual. In ABA, we use reinforcement for positive behaviors and consequences for negative behaviors. Positive reinforcement is used in ABA to decrease unwanted behaviors, increase communication skills, teach social skills, self-help skills, and more. In a place of worship, an example of what this could look like is assisting a child to attend to an activity at a task or at a table or even in a group with other children. In addition to the ABA services that we provide in the home and community, such as a place of worship, we also assist with other things, and here are a few listed. Some ideas may include family night, picnics, community events, workshops, and brochures. Just know that increasing support is not something that you have to do on your own. In fact, there are many resources, and here at EASE, Early Autism Services, we can create, assist, and provide resources for you at your place of worship. How can we help you? We are here to help you create a foundation of support for your families. After learning about autism today and how it might feel to be in the person's shoes, how does your place of worship welcome children with autism and their families? Here are some considerations. Does your worship currently have members with autism? If so, how do you accommodate? And how could you enhance these accommodations? If not, is there a possibility in the future that you'll gain families with a child or children with autism? If not, would you still consider shedding light on autism to promote awareness, acceptance, and support for those in the community? As we bring our presentation to a close, I would like to leave you with these questions and thoughts. I would also like to know if you feel that there are barriers for those in your community to receive the services they need. Some of these barriers can include lack of awareness, language barriers, cultural barriers, income status, and any others that may come to mind. If so, our last slide contains our company information and resources that you can share and keep. If we can help you in your place of worship in any way, please reach out to us. Feel free to visit our website for more information at www.earlyautismservices.com. You may also email us with any questions that you may have. info@earlyautismservices.com. Thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for all that you do in your communities.